Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today I'm going to be working on my apple tree. We're going to be looking at these watering cans, and I'll be working on the greenhouse. I last worked on my apple tree in June of this year, pruning it back and picking a new front. And as you can see, it's grown quite tall over the summer. Today I'm going to prune it back once again. Usually you wait until the leaves have dropped off the tree before you prune it back, but I've got to get busy on my greenhouse and my plant room, so while I'm waiting for the weather to warm up a bit today and things to dry off, I'll work on my apple tree. Here's a look at the top of the tree, and you can see I started off with just one branch coming up here. I pruned it off, it divided into two. I've pruned those, and I'm getting multiple branches at the apex now to form the canopy of the tree. I'll start today by pruning back all these long branches on the top of the tree, making it more compact. So here I go. So I'm looking for outward facing leaves because I want my new branches to spread out from the crown. So I've got one here, one here. I think I'm going to prune it right here. Just like that. The next branch I'll prune is this tall one here, and I'm looking for leaves that are coming towards the front, fanning outwards. I've got one up here. There's a leaf scar here where there used to be a leaf. So if I prune up to here, it's getting too tall and straight, so I've got to come down lower. So I'll have to utilize that leaf scar there. I've got one out the back as a backup, and I could prune it maybe up here to develop this as a branch. If I prune it down to like the last leaf scar here and it dies back, I've got nothing. You lose the whole branch. So I think I'll be a little safe, and I'll actually go right here. Like that. So as these branches develop, if I get one out the front, I can prune it back further in the future. I'll rotate the tree around and start working on some of these branches towards the back here. I'll prune this branch next, so I have a leaf fanning outwards nicely here, and one towards the back, and there's one on the inside. So I'll go just above here, leaving a little bit for dieback, a bit of a stub that I can clean up next time I prune the tree. So here I go. Off it goes. Last time I worked on this tree, I picked a new front for the tree, so I'll rotate it around to the front so you can see the new front. I marked it here, so somewhere about there. So I'll need to look at the front to prune up these last few branches so they're fanning out nicely. So I'll rotate the front towards me, right about here, and I'll look at all these other branches. So I've got one here, so I think this one needs to go towards the back, kind of this direction. So I'm going to have to come right back to here. Taking that off. I've got a long shoot coming out the front here that just kind of naturally cascades. So I'll want to either remove it or divide it. I think I'm going to come in. I'll prune it short for now. And if it doesn't look good in the future, I can always remove it. There's a long one out the back here. You can see it right here. I'll need to reduce that. So I've got some good branches way back here, so I'll take it off right here. Like that. I've got one coming up the inside here towards the back. I'll reduce that back also to here, like that. Let's have a look at it now. I think that'll have to do for now. It's not perfect, but I've got to see what grows, and then I can maybe reduce some of these branches back further in the future. I'm leaving a lot on that might get pruned away in the future. Yeah, there's one going towards the inside here that I would probably take off, but Maybe I should now. I should. I'll reduce it right back to there. Okay, let's start working on the other areas of the tree now. You're looking at the front of the tree now, and I have this new branch that grew up here, and I didn't want to get rid of it because there's not a lot of, living veins on this tree. So just in case I had to rebuild the tree from this one branch, if the top died, then I'd be left with this branch and the back branch. So I'm keeping all my options open. I'll start the pruning on this branch by cutting off the tallest part, which has gone really, really high. All right. I'll prune it off right here. There's a branch facing forward. There's one on the inside and one towards the back. So I'm right here, like that. My intended style for this tree is to make it look like an ancient orchard tree, but one that still has some vigor to it. I've got 3 kind of cascading branches here that I'll want to prune back, so I'll just shorten them about as much as I can to here. We'll go here and to here. Okay, that gets that branch a lot more compact. My next step is to prune back this back branch here. It's grown quite tall over the summer, and I need to prune it back so it doesn't compete with the main apex of the tree. Okay, so I'll start with this tall one here. I'm looking for a leaf direction. I've got one facing the back, which is nice. So I can take that back really short here. So here I go, like that. Just leaving a stub. So I'll get the branch coming up more horizontally towards the back. I've got one growing up here. So I'm going to look at the front of the tree. So this one I can prune back to here, like that. There's one growing on the inside here. It starts on the inside of the branch and grows towards the main apex. I don't think I want that at all. However, I'll keep it. I'll just prune it back really short, just in case I need a branch or something there. So I'll just take it off there. I probably won't use that, and I may even remove it today when I step back and have a look at the tree and it just stands out as being odd. It does right now. I'm going to take it off because I already have like a lot of branches in that area, so I certainly don't need the one coming up the center. Take that off, and I'll just clean that cut up a bit so it heals nicely and doesn't leave a bulge, like that. There. That helps that out. Now I've got one coming up the top here. I prefer it to fan outwards rather than cross over, so I'm going to take it back short to this outward facing leaf, to there. And I've got one coming up the back here that needs to be shortened. So I think I need to take that off right here. There's a leaf facing the back of the tree, so it'll fan out nicely. So there's the front of the tree you're looking at, somewhere around there now. So next I've got some branches coming off of this large one out the back here. So again, I'll just prune them back shorter, like that. There's one growing up here. I need to prune it back to here, like that. There's a tall one here that needs pruning back. Here's that tall one, so I've got to take that back. I can go quite short here. I think I will. Off to there. There's one kind of crossing, coming from this branch, kind of crossing and going in the front of the tree. Doesn't look very good at all, so I'll prune it off quite short to here. Like that. That opens that area up quite a bit. I've got one in here that's getting quite long. I'll just take the tip off to here, like that. Now I've got this main thick back branch here, a lot of long branches on it, so I'll start on that now, pruning that back. So I've got one out to the side here, that's a nice branch, just needs shortening, and I think I'm going to go back to here, like that. I've got one shooting up here. I'll take it back to here. There's an outward facing leaf here. So I'll take it back to there. I've got one kind of crisscrossing here. I'll reduce that one back to here, like that. Now, I've got a bunch of branches coming up here, so I'll take this one off to here, shortening it. There's one coming here, I'll take it off to here. One here. And I'm going to have to look at it from the front and see what it's doing. Okay, so it's kind of curving funny. Yeah, that one's not very good. I'll take it right back to here, like that. I've kind of got an apex one here. I'll take it back to here. I think I've got all the branches pruned up now. So let's have a look at it from the front. Here's a look at the tree now from the front. Somewhere around here is the front. It's looking quite good. It's looking very old and ancient. Perfect for an apple tree. This branch in the apex here is a little, long without any movement or taper, but I think as it thickens up, it'll be fine. I'm going to try and remove, there's a stub here from the apex. I'm going to try and remove that and make it flush. So I'll come in behind here, see if I can get most of it off, like that. And then I'll come in and nibble it away to try and get it looking a little more natural, so it doesn't look like I cut it away. Hard to get in here. There, that looks pretty good there. Nice. When I first collected this tree from my sister's side yard, someone had just sawn the top off the tree, and I've always left it, and it's always looked like, someone took a saw and cut it off. So it's starting to rot away, so I think I can peel back some of the layers now to make it look more natural. So I'll rotate the tree around. So here it is here. This wood is quite fragile now. You can see it moves. So I'm just going to peel back some of the layers so it doesn't look like a saw cut. Now, a lot of people have asked me, why do I leave this rotted wood on the tree? And the answer is that the roots from this living part will sometimes grow into the rotted wood on an apple tree, and it'll restore, that rotted section with living tissue. So that's what I was hoping for. I don't know if I'll be successful or not. You can see there's a lot of insects in there that like this rotted wood. But these pill bugs, they're not harmful to living tissue. They just eat rotted wood. They're nature's
composters, I guess. So there, you can see that part of the tree is looking a little more natural now. I'm just getting away this edge here a bit. Some of the bark. Like that. I'll rotate it around even more to the back where there's a lot of rotting going on here. There's a close-up view of this section, and you can see there's moss growing on the rotted wood. It's probably full of insects eating the rotting wood away. So I'm just going to peel some of this moss off so I can see what's happening here a little bit. Okay. So this was another area where there was a big trunk chop on the tree. This tree was growing right beside the house, like right beside it, and the person who owned the house didn't want it there. So they would cut it back all the time, and it just kept growing and growing. So the stump just got better and better looking. And then my sister, she didn't want it there either, so she said, "Do I want it?" And so I went around and looked at it, and I thought, yeah, I'll collect that. Some more rotted wood here. So that's the reason I collected it, and and it's, been surviving over the years. I'm just clearing a channel so when water comes down here, it doesn't pool in the trunk area here. I mean, I'll never stop this rotting. It's too far gone, but like I said, I'm hoping that eventually the roots grow into this decomposing material that used to be the trunk of the tree, and it'll kind of replace it with living root tissue. Yeah, I'll show you one of the other pruning marks on the tree. So we rotate it around even further. Here's that major pruning scar here that's rotted away. You can see there's another branch that was taken off here, so I'll just peel away some of that too, just to make it look a little more natural, because that was sawed off at one point too. Not by me, but by someone else, back when it was in the ground at my sister's house. Quack. Yeah, that looks a little better. Over here you can see some bark that's separated from the trunk of the tree, just flaking off. It's very delicate. I'll leave it on for now, but I'm sure it won't last long. Here's a look at some of the interactions between living tissue here, and the old dead stump of the tree. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Lots of features, and yeah, it's a beautiful tree. It really gives you that feeling of a decaying ancient old tree that still wants to live, and maybe that's what bonsai is all about, is showing that struggle between life and death in nature. That's the apple tree pruned up for 2021. It had a good growing season, and I'm looking forward to developing this tree far into the future. Hopefully it'll do all right. The weather is looking much better now. It's drying up, so I'll begin work on the greenhouse. I'll start by adding my putty to the bottom down here. Coming in right about here. Like that. Okay. I'm ready for the windows now. And sitting on the edge, the ledge. Okay. That looks good there. Push that bottom in a bit. Make sure it doesn't pop out. And see how it lines up at the top. Looks pretty good right about there. Okay. That's it. On top of this glass edge here sits a strip of plastic, and then the triangle shaped window slips into that. So there's no putty on this part at all. Okay, so then I need to get it up high enough at the bottom. Ooh, I don't know. It's not going very well. I've got my lower piece of glass in, but I'm having troubles with this triangle piece up top. There's not enough room. It's hitting the beam up here. And I don't know what I can do about it. It's just not enough height in this vertical column here to fit the two pieces of glass in that little piece of plastic. So I've been checking everything, and everything looks properly put together, so I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I even tried filing the tip off the glass to see if I could get a little more clearance, but that didn't help much. It helped a little bit, but not much. So I don't know, other than, shaping that glass more, I don't know what to do up here. It's got me tricked. Last time I was at Connor's place, he showed me these brass Haws watering can nozzles, and I thought, oh wow, have I got a use for that? I'll show you why. A couple of years ago, I bought this watering can at Lee Valley Tools, and it was on sale for $10 because it was missing the rose on the end, or the nozzle on the end. And I always thought, well, maybe I can, design one on the computer and 3D print a nozzle for the end, and because you can't buy them. And then when I was at Connor's last time, I saw those brass nozzles, and I thought, oh, that would be perfect for this watering can. So Scott Winard from the YouTube channel Let's Do Bonsai emailed me, and he said, well, I can send you some of those nozzles. And I thought, oh, thank you, Scott. That was wonderful. And so he sent them to me as a gift too. I offered to pay for them, but he said, no, he's going to take care of it. So thanks, Scott. That's really nice. So I'll show you the nozzle on the end of the can now. Connor got two different nozzles, or roses. He got a fine and a medium. And he said the fine was a little fine. It tended to clog up easily, especially if you're using rainwater. So I thought, well, I'll order a medium and a large. That way, if you get algae or contaminants in your water, dirt and that, or debris from the trees, it'll still work fine. You can still water. So here's the difference. Here's the two nozzles, first of all. So there's a medium here. This is the medium. And then there's a coarse, or a large one here. So they're really awesome. They're all brass, and they're Haws genuine. There's a close-up look at the nozzle with the Haws genuine written on it. That's the large holes, and there's the medium holes. Also Haws genuine. Cool. So they're really nice. When I got this watering can, I noticed that the end was already sanded smooth. So someone had tried to fit a different nozzle or something on the end of it, and they probably didn't have success, so they took it back, and maybe the store took pity on them and gave them their money back, which they shouldn't have done. But anyway, and they also probably shouldn't have resold it when it was damaged like this. But anyway, so I'll put the medium one on first. So it fits pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's not too bad. So there it goes. so it doesn't slide down all the way. It just kind of fits on the end. I'll show you what the spray pattern looks like from that. All right, here's the spray pattern from the medium. So it's just a nice, gentle, it comes out at a good rate of flow. Not too fine where you're waiting around for a long time. There. Next, I'll show you the coarse. All right, here's the coarse nozzle now. So it's still really nice. It's more like more of a harder rain, I guess. But it still doesn't disturb your soil. So there, that's 2 liters gone. From what I've read, Haws no longer makes the 2-liter conservatory watering can. So they were ideal for watering bonsai, so I'll make sure I take good care of these and try and make them last for at least another 20 years. Thank you very much, Scott Wynard from Let's Do Bonsai. An awesome present. My apple tree is all pruned up, ready for spring. I will be repotting this in spring, rotating it around to get the new front view of the tree. And I'll have to think up a solution for that window in the greenhouse to make it fit. And that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.